Welcome back to the Super Panic Frenzy podcast. I'm Steven Suptic.
I'm Lyle McDouchebag.
I'm Jeremy Azevedo.
And I just want to ask you guys, did you have a fun time yesterday? Did either of you have a good day yesterday?
Specifically yesterday?
Specifically yesterday.
Why yesterday in particular?
In particular, yesterday. I'm just curious if you guys had a good day because I sure didn't.
You sound like you're prompting something.
Yeah.
So you just asked us about how our day was.
asked you
as an excuse to talk about yourself, as you often do.
Typical.
Well, you are able to shine right through everything that I'm thinking.
Why don't you just save us all some time and just jump right into it?
No, okay. So, that's so weird that you'd want to hear about my day yesterday. I had to take a sick day. I was feeling real diarrhea-y, which, as you do, and it turned into something far worse. So, about a couple weeks ago...
What's far worse than diarrhea?
Well, a couple weeks ago, I broke my phone, had to get a new one.
Oh, you put it up your butt?
Yeah, well, you have to.
And then it can't... Okay, I see where this is going.
And then yesterday, I dropped my phone in the pool, in my apartment pool, and I got a new one immediately. And
so
then,
were you sick or were you hanging out at the pool?
No, I was sick, but then I figured I could film a video by the pool or something.
Diarrhea? That's like the worst kind of diarrhea. Of like top 3 places not to have I guess it doesn't touch it, but still, it's not a good place.
What's that word that you use for rhea? Like something rhea?
Rhea?
Yeah.
I just call it rhea. I mean, I don't know. I've called things lots of things, Steven.
Rhea
I
is
can't keep up with my own
gross
terms
word.
for shit.
So you
Rio
went out
de
to your
Janeiro.
apartment pool to do a tub girl reenactment? Or
To do a tub girl reenactment. Yeah. And then I got a new phone, and then I dropped it again right off the bat, and now it's not with... Oh, it is right here, and you can see it's spiderwebbed. So it's like a triple threat of events. And I also have a pimple on my penis, which is the icing on the ass crack.
How do you get a pimple on your penis?
I looked it up, and it's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, you can get it. You can get it from going too fast.
Oh,
like an RBI.
A
rub burn injury.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a rug burn injury right here, actually.
As long as it's like one singular one. If you've got more than one, then it's probably a whole thing.
Then you might want to have that checked out.
It's a 1-1 times 4.
So is this like the 3rd time that you've destroyed your phone?
In the past month, this is the 3rd time.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't understand. I've had the same phone for 2 years before this, and I never had an issue. And now it's like, once I got these Samsung ones, it's whoop.
Maybe you've just gotten more slippery with all the natural oils you're starting to secrete.
I don't understand why I oil up so much because I have good facial sanitation.
You're becoming an oily man.
I've been an oily man. I can remember back in a time when I went over to my friend's house in junior high, and his little sister asked me why I was so oily. And I look back on that now, and that should have been a sign to go to a dermatologist or something.
I keep telling you that.
Why am I so damn oily? And then I thought that these were blackheads my whole life, but it turns out there are these things called, is it sebaceous? Is that the word?
I don't even know what that is.
Filaments. And it's just some shit you can't get rid of. You can only make them appear a little bit less because they're just your pores. So there's nothing I can do.
I just
you've
want
got
to
the
point out.
nosebleeds.
And yeah, the nose. Wait, do you mean the actual nosebleeds or this vein that hangs out of my nose?
Well, both.
I posted a picture the other day that was like, what have I become? And it was just a close-up of my face or something, me looking off in the distance, and someone said, why is your nose bleeding? Why is there a big hair coming out of your nose? What is that coming out of your nose? That's gross. What is that? It's a vein! It's a vein!
I used to think, like, paired with your eccentric personality, I used to think you were just a big old coke hound.
You'd think, as I scratch my nose.
Also, side note, I want to point out that this is today is a great victory for me because I've been trying to make you insecure about your pores since, like, the beginning of this show.
It wasn't you that did it.
Oh, okay, you just keep telling yourself that.
Speaking of great big cokeheads, you know who I saw today?
Oh, who did you
Robert
see?
Downey Jr.
He's no longer a cokehead.
Yeah, I know. He's
Steven,
clean. He's been
that's
clean for a
rude.
very long time. But it was weird. I was coming out of the studio thing, and I was driving, doing a 10-point turn because I have very poor parking skills and driving skills in general. And
also because your car's dumb.
And it's huge, yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr. just came out to judge you?
No, I don't think he even was aware that I existed, which is fine, as to be expected. But I turned left, and in this little alleyway, he was in this big-ass black SUV, and I gave him, like, a smile to the people in the car because, obviously, I thought they just witnessed me horrendously backing up and pulling forward and backing up and pulling forward. And then I looked at him, and I was like, oh! And it was the RDJ driving a car. He was actually driving. He wasn't being chauffeured.
Like?
He was looking another way.
Oh.
As he would, I imagine. So that was...
So you were able to identify him as Robert Downey Jr. from, like, the side of his head?
It was... I never do this for any celebrity, nor do I really care, but it was for sure RDJ spotting.
Did he have that like Tony Stark weird facial hair?
He did.
thing?
He did.
Yeah.
That's what was.
I wonder if he has that permanently, like all the time.
I don't know.
I think if anything, that makes it less likely that it's Robert Downey Jr. You know, you'd think he'd just
fuck
have
you,
better
Lyle.
things to do than grow the same kind of facial hair as in
Yeah, I
his
think I would
movies.
file this under pick or it didn't happen.
I figured it was weird though because he was driving a black SUV, like a big old Escalade type thing.
Why does it matter that it was black, Steven?
I just figured he'd be driving a sports car or something, you know? Speaking of
Again, this is sounding less and less like Robert Downey Jr. than when you describe
so
it.
wait, but let's.
He was driving a shitty 1989 Dodge Sonoma. He looked like he was really broke. He was wearing lots of flannel and sweatpants, but he really, I swear by the back quarter of his head, he really looked like Robert Downey Jr.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I do.
I think that was an impersonation of you, though.
It was.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's right though. Shit. I don't know why people think I sound like Morty.
You totally do. I hadn't
totally
even
do.
thought about that.
What about that, Rick?
Morty, you really screwed up this time. You really
I
shot
just
the
gotta
bath.
go back to school.
You can't go back, Morty. You can never go back.
Don't forget the barfing.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, Rick, this is crazy. Please don't fly me there. I just
Morty.
Look, don't drop a bomb on the
Morty, the
planet.
answer
It's
is don't think about it,
ridiculous.
Morty.
Ridiculous. I can't. I'm fighting.
You're gonna be fine, Morty.
No, I just gotta go back to school. My dad. Like.
Okay. Anyway.
So thank you for watching the podcast. It is actually brought to you today by Domain.com. Domain.com is the place to go when that next great idea hits you. It's a one-stop shopping for all your domain name and web hosting needs. Domain.com is reliable, affordable, and easy to use. And at Domain.com, you have the opportunity to choose from a growing list of 250 plus domain extensions like .design, .space, and .nyc. Domain.com wants to hook you up. Save 20% on domain names and web hosting when you use coupon code PANIC at the checkout. And when you think domain names, think Domain.com.
You really did a great job memorizing that.
Thank you.
I sure hope Raina comes back soon. On a side note.
Yeah, I do too. Well, no.
Yeah, right? Like, I hope so too, because she's the best.
I actually like. Yeah, no, I'm fine with Jeremy being here. Actually, I for some reason my brain
I'm
just
glad
went
you're
to.
fine with it.
For some reason, my brain just went to, yeah, if Raina was back, maybe Steven wouldn't be. But no, she'd replace Jeremy. So,
Yeah.
no, Raina, stay gone. I could touch Jeremy's face all day.
Would
But
you?
Steve's
Could
in the way.
and has.
That's
Yeah,
gross.
There was one very select day when that was all I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was
So
a long
what's it
time
like,
ago.
a lot of mushrooms then.
Having back problems, you guys. What's that like? How does that...
You'll know soon. You're like 6'3".
Yeah.
The world's not built for you.
I
They'll
have
catch
decent
up.
posture.
They'll catch up with you eventually.
Yeah, but you have to carry around like all your weird hair and stuff. And, like,
Wait, aren't you around the same age as me?
way up there.
I don't
22?
know. Yeah, I'm around there.
Yeah, what the hell? So my back problems would have... Why are yours already showing up? Just poor genetics?
I really don't know.
What causes... I mean, Jeremy's back issues are caused from what? Was it a car accident?
Yeah, I got hit by a car. Well, today I tried to do deadlifts with a lot of weight, and I kind of fucked it up.
Is
But
that
I'll be okay. I'll be fine.
Are deadlifts the only exercise that can really affect you like that?
I don't know.
There's like a billion different things that can like damage your back gradually over
Can
time.
squats damage your back? I guess if you do them wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Can bench press damage your back?
Maybe if you arch it too much.
Oh God, there are people that go like...
Yeah.
But you want to be gym buddies with me? Do you guys all want to go to the gym? Lyle, when's the last time you went to the gym?
I don't have a membership at the gym. I did P90X for a while, but
Holy shit. You guys, we should all go to the gym and make a video of it.
you do realize that's like an
Yeah.
hour drive for me.
We
I
can...
don't
go
know
to
that
the gym
The
with
other
you.
people at the gym would be super on board with that.
Okay, so we'll all meet up at a North Hollywood gym. Lyle, it's not that far of a drive for you, right?
Fuck off.
And what are your favorite exercises, Lyle?
Puss.
You heard it here first, everybody. Pussy is Lyle's favorite exercise. We actually have an interesting topic today. Speaking of pussy, we're talking about guilty pleasures on the podcast.
Is that a guilty pleasure?
Only if you're like a Mormon or something.
And we tweeted it out using hashtag guilty baby lady.
Speaking
Oh,
of
good.
guilty baby ladies, before we jump into this, can I tell you guys about something that I fucking ran across the other day?
You ran across a guilty.
Absolutely.
How does that relate to guilty baby
Well,
lady?
you'll see. Basically, I ran across a anti-masturbation website, but it it wasn't like a Christian thing. They were like treating it like they were like fucking Tough Mudders or some kind of shit. You know, those kind of people that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm really gonna put myself to the test. And they called themselves Fapstronauts. And they
had
had
to have been a joke. There's
no
way this
no,
is
they
real.
had like
What's
all
their
this.
goal?
They had like all this like terminology.
Is the person
like,
that goes the
like,
longest
I
without
haven't
stroking it the
POM'd
toughest?
in over
Yo.
2 weeks.
PON, what does that stand for?
Oh, I don't even fucking remember. They had like a whole like list of things. It's like
Pulled
the,
on knob?
the death grip, and
No,
it's
wait,
like
that's not right.
when you
Okay.
masturbate so much you can't even enjoy women. And they had like a counterpart called the death schlick.
I don't think
Which
that
is for women.
somebody that's a
death
member of that
And the-
organization is gonna ever enjoy a woman.
There were all
regardless of
these
whether or
there
not
were
they
all
pull
these
it.
testimonials complete with pictures of, I mean, I don't mean to judge, but completely ugly chicks. And it was like, I couldn't compete with porn, and now that I don't let my man masturbate, I get so much more attention. And like things like that. And then it's like, keep on
Wow.
going on, Fapstronauts.
I can't even go
They
3
literally
days.
called themselves Fapstronauts.
As
They have a whole subreddit.
As a married fella,
It's-
I cannot imagine a scenario in which my wife would want more attention.
Right.
I seriously cannot even imagine going more than 3 days without not jerking my gurk.
I can't imagine going more than like 6 hours. You kidding me?
Well, I can't. I don't want to do it as much anymore because I realized that I'm far more
because
productive.
You're getting zits on your dick from it.
Yeah, from
So, I mean,
too
there's
much.
that.
Are
Too
you
much.
poor shitty there too?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jeezers.
Wow,
Oh,
Rick,
boy.
what the hell? That's ridiculous. No, my pores aren't shitty on my dick. However, I have noticed that I am far more productive when I don't jerk off.
Why do you think that is?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I
Oh
think
no,
it's.
you
I
get,
know
you
what it
get
is.
angry, you get frustrated, and you have to fucking distract yourself real fast. That is a compelling point.
Well, I think it's because
You're not expending your testosterone?
yeah, when I don't jerk it, all I'm thinking about is trying to get, the ladies, and the motivation to get the ladies. I want to better myself, and by bettering myself, I'm working harder. So because that's the end goal for everything, right? Is to have sex? Isn't that what you've said countless times?
Well, I mean,
That's a life quote I live by.
There's an argument to be made that everything that we do is sexually motivated.
Well, I think the end goal. There's 2 end goals: to have sex and die. And if you can do both of them in the same place, you're golden.
yeah.
What are your motives in life, Lyle?
I just told you to have sex and die in the same place.
Yeah. Like while
Actually,
skydiving or
yeah.
in a
Last
shark cage or-
podcast, I did talk about a plan to get really, really fat and then skydive in between
Yep.
2 helicopters. I might have to take a lovely lady down with me to
Would
completely
she also
fulfill my
be?
dreams.
Would she also be large? Would she be?
You know
bloated?
what? Yeah, that would make a bigger mess. So, yes.
But do you want
It
your
has
legacy
to
to
be,
be?
it has to be over a heavily populated area too, so they just
Exactly.
get rained on.
Did you watch the last one, or are you just putting this together for yourself?
No, I mean it's,
That's
it just
exactly
makes
what I
sense.
said the last
sense.
time.
Do you want that lady to ruin your legacy, though? Don't you want it to be all about you?
I mean,
What's your ideal weight for this?
my ideal weight
In
I-
kilograms.
it's not necessarily about weight. It's about girth. It's about volume.
So
know?
do you want to be really dense? Do you want to have thick blood as well?
I think as long as I
Blood
cover
like
a big
gravy, I
area.
think.
What's the way to make you the densest possible human being? Because Raina, as small as she is, you pick her up, she's like a rock. And then you pick me up and I'm like a feather.
No, muscle is heavier than fat, so
Right.
you would be more dense if you were muscular.
Right. No, that would make
But no,
sense.
I don't.
Is Raina secretly buff?
She might be like closet little
Closet
Asian
buff.
buff.
Closet Asian.
Well, I
buff.
mean, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, like Asians, they're
That's
not
right.
buff all the time. They have to like power up, and then all of a
Oh,
sudden their
that
like
would
muscles
explain
come
it.
out when
Uh-huh.
they turn full
But
power.
it's there under the surface all the
Right.
time.
So we have
Right.
confirmed that Lyle's motives in life are sex and death. What about you, Jeremy?
I mean, pretty much the same. Yeah.
I want to win an Academy Award.
Pussy.
Whatever.
So, like what I was saying before we got off this tangent and calling me a pussy or whatever, we used hashtag #GuiltyBabyLady on Twitter, and you can tweet us. Look on @SPFrenzy if you want a chance to do like the next podcast. We ask like questions, or you guys ask us questions, and we judge you. And this week we did what are your embarrassing guilty pleasures? Tweet them at us using hashtag #GuiltyBabyLady, and a lot of you guys said some really, really embarrassing things, and we're gonna
Do you
take
want
a
to
look
talk
at them.
about some of ours first before we start ripping?
Do you
on
think that would
theirs?
provide some ethos, logos, and pathos?
I think so. Yeah, all
Why
three
not?
of those.
Why not, you guys? Which one? I feel like it doesn't provide pathos. What are those? Ethos is logos is logic.
Was this a fucking psychology
Ethos.
lesson?
Yeah.
Ethos is the
Sigmund Suptic
what's the one where
over
you
here
trust-
gonna
where you
fucking
trust
tell
someone?
us what the
Ethos.
parts of the human
101
mind
at
are?
Santa Monica College.
ethos is definitely the one where you trust someone, right? It builds like a relationship between the. Fuck it.
Anyway, so your guilty pleasure is then?
My guilty pleasures involve
Psychology degrees.
Well, I'm going to start off small, and I'm going to say one of my guilty pleasures is pop music sometimes. The occasional pop song that catches my ear. And that's the tip of the iceberg. We go down a little bit further, and we are introduced to me liking zit and cyst popping videos very much. Sorry.
Those are so gross. I can't.
Yeah,
watch
no, they're
those.
not, though. They're relieving. It's like you're getting clean. That's what I get out of it, is just like you pop like this whole thing out. You cut a little scissor up on someone's back.
A little scissor.
Is
As
this
Lil
what
Wayne does?
qualifies as guilty pleasures? Because before the podcast, you're like, oh yeah, I have some guilty pleasures prepared. And I was like, man, I got to think of some good ones. And you're like, oh, zip popping videos. I'm like, oh.
It gets
Yeah,
worse.
everybody looks at those.
Yeah, but it gets worse.
I was
That's-
really
this
into
is-
camel beheadings for a while. It's blood goes freaking everywhere because they have those long necks. It becomes like a 2-part garden
It's
hose.
like their humps are full of blood.
Pretty much,
Yeah, and it's pressurized.
So another guilty pleasure I have, when the bottom of the list, is little sexual things I like once in a while to try. And it's a
boy.
shame that I'm talking about this on a podcast when I could not talk about it and save myself the embarrassment. But there was a time, and this is probably the most embarrassing one, where there was a time where I detached the front of a fan and I duct taped a fleshlight to the spinny part.
It's bad enough that you even have a fleshlight, let alone attached it to a fan. And
Well,
then
it
what
wasn't
happened?
exactly a flashlight. It was one of those like rubber things that you can get instead. And I didn't even get, my
Wait, you
friend
mean-
got it for me.
okay,
It's
to-
like
Oh, it
you
wasn't
went to another
clarify.
school.
To
It was
clarify, you put it in the middle, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't work. I'm sure there's a way to get it to work, but it didn't work for me, and I'm sad that that's now out on the internet. And there's no way to go back. So beat that, Lyle, with your camel beheadings.
Oh man, a spinning fleshlight.
That's pretty good. That's
I mean,
something-
I used to do like challenge porn pretty often.
What's challenge porn?
Okay, challenge porn is like, can I jerk off to this? Like you'll come across something weird. You know how Costco, they have like they have like 2-tiered, like there's one aisle and then there's another aisle and there's just a dead zone in between where no one can see.
Isn't that like
I'm
a
not
lot of
confessing
stores?
to anything, but you can just
You
use your
jerked it in
imagination.
there?
No, I didn't
jerked it
confess
to
to
it.
that. I didn't confess to that. But let's just say somebody who was getting some paper towels just got a big face full of when they got their 92-pack of Bounty. Look, nobody should be doing that much cleaning, and if you are doing that much cleaning, you're used to a mess. Okay,
You're used to
you deserve to see that.
A person
I'm
that's
just
just
saying.
used to a mess.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest place you've ever jerked it?
I mean, does that not count?
That counts.
Yeah,
Mine
what
is
could be
definitely the
weirder
airport
than that?
bathroom.
The airport bathroom.
That's like I've
so smelly. I don't think-
90% of the establishments I've been to that have gone to the bathroom and it's specifically to jerk it. I've probably jerked it in bathrooms more than I've taken
Have you-
shits in
have you
public
jerked it here?
bathrooms. Dude, is that like a trick question?
What about you, Jeremy?
I don't know. Those don't sound like guilty. I thought guilty pleasures was like listening to shitty music or like playing an embarrassing game or something. Not jerking
I
it
mean,
in public.
That's the weird thing is I think anybody who like does stuff, especially on the internet or like involving production, I think everybody is just like, they're in on the joke. Cause like I could be like, oh yeah, The Room's a guilty pleasure, right? But like all of us like dumb shit like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys both watch like bad movies.
Watching
and
bad
shit
movies,
like
I don't
that.
think is a guilty
I
pleasure.
don't like
I think
watching
a guilty
bad
pleasure
movies.
would be watching a movie like She's All That over and over.
Mean Girls isn't a guilty pleasure, right? Because that's actually a good movie, right?
No, I mean,
Actually,
I
okay,
like
I
Mean
like
Girls.
that movie.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
don't mind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've seen
watch
it
it.
once. I didn't hate it, but I was also like 16, so at that point Lindsay Lohan was like really hot.
Oh, that's right. And I even,
So-
looking back at that, it was like, Lindsay, you were so hot. So what
I
about
wish we
your
could have
guilty
Lindsay
pleasures?
Lohan on the podcast. That would be fun.
Holy shit. Who has a connection with Lindsay Lohan out here?
Nobody.
I don't know. Where do
do
you
you
get
even,
your
like-
cocaine, Steven?
How do you get in contact with Lindsay Lohan?
I think you just have to have the signal, the Lohan signal.
Speaking of people at the end, what happened to Amanda Bynes?
Oh man, she went crazy, right?
Yeah, but is she back to normal?
I don't think she'll ever be
Who
back
cares?
to normal.
No, child stars are just ruined for life.
Yeah.
Did she actually have like a mental disability or was it drugs?
Lyle, do you ever think that a lot of YouTubers are gonna go the way of child
yes.
stars?
Oh, dude, all
Yes,
of these fucking Vine
for
stars
sure.
and shit, all of the Vine stars and all these YouTubers that start off as like 16 to 17-year-olds, they're gonna be so
think
fucked.
Anybody
Dude.
who's a teenager that you give millions of dollars to, they're ruined.
And I
Oh,
noticed
yeah,
that
don't
all
go
the
back
Vine
from
stars dress the same way. They all dress like One Direction members. It's those people specifically that are gonna be dead in
Can-
like 20 years.
To go off the rails a little bit, do you ever find it strange that there are people that are like YouTube vloggers and people ask them for advice and stuff like that?
I think I tweeted you about
yeah,
this before.
How like what less well-adjusted group of people are there like than YouTube vloggers? It's like, oh yeah, I've never had a job, but I started doing Call of Duty commentaries and now I do vlogs. Ask me for life advice. Like, what kind of life advice is that gonna
like
give
like
you?
career advice, Lyle, or like dating advice. Or,
Pretend that you're a major Call of Duty commentator and I'm one of your viewers and I'm asking you, hi, Lyle, this is at a panel. You're at a panel right now?
All right.
Well, hi, Lyle. I was just curious, what would it take to get into your, like, to do what you do? What kind of steps would I have to take to get to where you are?
Okay, as popular Call of Duty commentator XX Elite Snipes Assassin XX, I'm gonna give you this advice, all right? First of all, drop out of school. That's a waste of fucking time, all right? What you want to be doing, you want to get yourself an expensive capture card, a Blue Yeti microphone, specifically a Blue Yeti. There's no better microphone you can get in that price range. And what I want you to do is you just got to start making content and make content every day. Now remember, don't build life skills. All you've got to be able to do is talk over video games because that's a bubble that's never going to burst, man. There's always going to be a demand specifically for Call of Duty commentary videos. Make sure you have your thing. Make sure you always say the same thing at the beginning of every single video and just always play Call of Duty, play the newest Call of Duty, and just talk about yourself, man. And then people will be asking you for advice on how you do things.
Follow-up question, will you have sex with me?
Are you under 14?
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Done,
Also,
done,
dude, if you
done.
could like and subscribe, that would really help me out. You know, I've been on panels before and seen people ask those questions, and they literally say basically that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been on a panel before because I've always been too afraid. And I know for a fact there is no advice I could give in this world that would make a difference for anyone. There was I talked about this in like a video I had recently, and this is the closest thing to what Lyle was talking about. And it was a video about social anxiety and how to get over it. And I just told everyone in my audience just to drink a bunch of alcohol, and everyone like believed it. I mean, it's true, but
I
it's
feel like that's like too like it's obviously a joke, right?
yeah, but it's
like-
people were genuinely like. Okay, you know what, Steve?
I mean, technically
I'm
you're not
underage, but once I
wrong.
actually like
Like
get
what,
to the
what kind of alcohol, Steve? Like cherry wine coolers or
yes,
okay.
and that's how that goes. Jeremy, you haven't talked about your guilty pleasures yet, and I imagine they're disgusting.
I don't have any like jerk off ones.
It's fine if you don't have any jerk off ones. We don't all have to jerk off.
I mean, my embarrassing thing that I do is spending hundreds of hours playing role-playing games, and they're not even like multiplayer ones. So it's like it's not even social. Like I do it by myself, and a lot of them are weird ones, like Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen.
Okay, so now we're gonna do a
Dragon's
role play.
Dogma is a good fucking game.
I
man.
fucking played that for like over 100 hours.
So now that we're talking about role play, I'm gonna do a role play of you playing a game for 100 hours, and you are your wife.
You know,
She
what,
likes
you
to-
sucking her dick on a video game again?
she likes to like she gives me a little bit of teasing when I'm playing like a really dorky game for
She's
a
from
long
Gangs of New
time.
York.
She'll be like, you got all these other games you could be playing, but I see you're still playing that
Or you
one.
could be
That's-
playing with my
that's cool."
pussy.
She walks in and you're like in the middle of blowing iron bowl and you're like, oh, I don't
She
know.
has walked in. Like when I was playing Dragon Age, every single time there's a sex scene, she walks in and she goes, "What the fuck is this? Is this some kind of like
is that
fucking
what she
monster
thinks you
dating
do?
simulator?"
Would you play one of
It
those?
kind
if
of
it was
is,
an RPG?
yeah.
Probably.
So your
If it
only
had really good character development.
guilty pleasure is playing games for
I don't-
100 hours at a time.
I don't.
That are
dude,
designed
it's
to be
not-
played
Maddie
for
can-
like
Maddie
100
can go
hours.
with you right there,
But it's
Destiny
like one after
boy.
another, after
Ugh.
another, after another, and all the time my wife is walking in, and it's like it's Mass Effect, and I'm like mining or something stupid, and she's and so she thinks it's so stupid because she always walks in at the worst time.
Hey, secret tip for if you want to get inside Maddie's head, all you have to do is say the Taken King and he jizzes right on the spot. Taken King.
Oh, gross!
Whoa, that's so gross,
Dude,
Maddie,
it's
that you just
all
jizzed.
over the wall.
That's so gross. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that that's the only guilty pleasure out of your whole life.
Out of my whole life.
I figured there was more discuss. No, I mean, well, if that's really
Yeah,
it.
I like how you're like, oh man, jerking off, whatever, camel beheadings. I thought guilty pleasures were like really bad stuff.
I play games for hundreds of hours.
I play games that are made to be played for hundreds of hours.
No,
for
I
hundreds
just
of
thought
hours.
I thought guilty pleasures were like watching a dumb show like Sense8.
You
or
didn't think,
something.
well, Lyle and I go hard.
Yeah,
Dude, have you
do.
ever seen that video, by the way, where like there's like a beached whale and the guy in the hazmat suit walks up to it with like a big metal hook and he like pops it and it fucking explodes and all of its guts come out?
Oh, it's so gross.
Challenge
I've seen
porn
somebody
right there.
I've seen somebody do that before.
And the
Challenge
answer
porn.
is yes.
Is that a title for this podcast? Challenge porn? Or oh god. So now let's judge some of your guys' embarrassing guilty pleasures that you tweeted at us. We're starting off with Craig, aka Princess Butter, saying going down to my fridge late at night and eating all the ice cream, then going and running a mile. Why is it a guilty pleasure to run a mile?
Yeah, I guess because he does it out of guilt after he eats the ice cream.
Yeah, and think about the timing. Like if it's midnight and you come down, you eat ice cream, and you're like, "Fuck," and then you like go running outside your house and you're gone for like an hour.
I can't do ice cream. Not since the leak, which was a spot on my chin. I had eaten bucketfuls of just cookie dough ice cream when I was a kid, and this was like middle school actually. And I had this like splotch right here that was just oozing pus. It wasn't pus, but it was like oil, and it was this little orange spot. Whatever. Next question or next thing.
I knew a girl with a lip piercing and she'd like leak out of it when she drank stuff.
Oh,
that's
good.
so
That's so
nasty.
good. I love that. That's great. Let's see. Here's a guilty pleasure saying from Zero saying I watch Steve's channel sometimes and I like it.
Yeah, that's like the easiest like cheap shot. Like I watch really shitty YouTube videos.
Right. Yeah, that is such a cheap shot to that's so easy of you to say that. Licking my toes, I feel like that's not real. Well, I can tell you that it's not putting my genitals in my friend's ice cream when they're not looking. Gross. Cop TV shows, says the Adam7. Is that really a guilty pleasure? I watch cop TV shows when there's nothing else on.
They are generally frowned upon. I think. Like
Really?
NCIS and CSI and.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about literally cops.
Oh.
Cop TV shows?
I
like
don't think that's what they're talking about. I think they're talking about police procedural.
Oh, those are awful.
yeah,
Those are dreadful.
those are real dumb. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Truly. What do you think the worst one is out of all of those?
Out of all of them,
Yeah. NCIS? Miami?
I can't tell them apart anymore.
Which
There's
is
so
the one
many.
with Captain the dude without the legs from Forrest Gump?
I like the one with Ice-T on it.
Oh, Law and Order?
Yeah,
Do you guys like Burn Notice?
I haven't seen that.
I've seen like one episode and it wasn't very good.
That's a guilty pleasure for me for sure. I also Blacklist is a guilty pleasure if we're talking about TV shows. That are,
Blacklist, I watched it for a little bit and it's okay. It just doesn't go anywhere, or it goes somewhere very very slowly because
it's very slow.
I didn't see it go
I was like 13
anywhere.
episodes in and it's just
I like watching cartoons, and not even
The guy's just
cartoons
like,
that are
"Oh,
for
hello there,
adults, but
oh,
like Sanjay and Craig and shit.
I've never even heard of that.
It's a show about like this Indian kid and his pet snake who talks. And it's real dumb, but I love it.
Oh,
By the way,
Jesus.
the main guy from the Blacklist, isn't that like such a weird main actor?
James what's his name?
I have no idea what his name is. All I know is he looks like what every single like fedora wearing neckbeard guy
talking
kind
about
of
James
fancies
Spader?
themselves to be at like 45.
Is that James Spader?
James Spader, yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't he
really-
do the voice in Iron Man, that new one?
I think-
I don't know. It's just such a weird main character because he's not like he plays this character that's supposed to be like a badass, but he's.
When dudes wear a fedora,
But he's not a badass
I
person.
think they think
I know,
that they look
right?
like
That's why I
Don
think it's
Draper.
weird casting.
Why did they give him a fedora? Of all the things to give him.
Yeah, they give him like a fedora and like a trench coat and stuff. Like he's a 1940s detective or something.
Can anybody pull that
You know,
off?
after all the years
Nobody can pull that off.
of
What are you
everyone
talking about?
joking about fedoras on the internet, there's still people that wear fedoras. And it's like, I'm not even saying this in an ironic way or to bring up like jokes from the internet from the past, but there are people that still actually wear fedoras.
There's like a very small percentage of people that can pull it off. Like
No, there
Robert
aren't.
Downey Jr. Fuck.
So it's what's crazy.
I'm fucking professional.
So actually, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before on the podcast. We talked about how to survive in high school or anything in school in general. Hey, tip right here: you have a fedora, take that out back, kill it like I killed my jeggings or my jorts the other night.
What is a jorts?
It's jean shorts. And I didn't have jean shorts because I wanted them. I had them out of convenience because I cut holes in my pant legs one day.
As you do.
And it became way too
At
much.
work.
Yeah, and so Amanda over there had to turn them into jorts. And here's a guilty pleasure from Dexter Manning saying the song Happy by Pharrell.
Oh boy.
There's not really much to say about that one.
No.
Okay, next one. Watching Steven Subtick's videos, goddammit.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be like 10 of those at least.
Drop Dead Diva, what is that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
what
It
that
sounds
is.
like it's full of sass. Like a brim with sass.
A lot of people choose their guilty pleasure to be a song. This person, Tara, said, listening to All Star by Smash Mouth on repeat.
Oh, it's such a bad song.
I like it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
I
have it on
grew
my...
up with it though.
That's true. It's on my starred playlist. It's deep in there.
Did you know that Smash Mouth made a fucking album like recently?
What?
Yeah, and there's a song
Yeah,
on
they
it
still
called
tour.
Justin Bieber.
Oh boy.
Really? Is it? Did you
It's-
listen to it?
Yeah, and it's like it's really bizarre because it's like super out of touch.
Is it praising Justin Bieber or is it like
No,
complaining
I
about
think
him?
I think it maybe says Justin Bieber like once, and it's like, man, whatever happened to high top sneakers? Do you still have your high top sneakers? I still have mine. It's like Smash Mouth. Nobody fucking still has high top sneakers.
Oh my god. That's so. I mean, what is to be expected though with them?
How
Did you
old
ever?
are those guys?
They're in their mid 80s. So another guilty pleasure is from Jesse saying toddlers in tiaras. Hashtag guilty baby lady.
Ooh.
I gotta say, I do watch some of those like really shitty reality shows, and some of them are so fucked up that they're hilarious.
Toddlers and tiaras makes me fucking uncomfortable.
I thought
like
they canceled that show.
I can't watch it. Like it's like I'm watching it and I'm like, I know that like this is made for and by pedophiles. So I like it just makes me so
But the
uncomfortable.
parents are hilarious though.
The parents are like disgusting human beings.
Yeah,
the
they're the
judges
worst
are
people.
really concerning to me.
Yeah,
That's
the
what-
judges are
it's
super
like,
concerning.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm like a 40-year-old guy and I'm just gonna
So
sit
let's
here
do a
and-
mock-up of what one of these events is like. I'll be the daughter, you be the dad, and you be the mom.
Okay.
And here we go. I'm up on stage.
You gotta smile more. You gotta smile more, like I taught you. You fucking piece of shit.
I mean,
fucking
the-
smile. Move more.
The dad usually
God
just sits there
Damn
like
it.
looking
you know how much
awkward.
this cost to get you here?
I don't know, honey.
Mom, I just feel like you're trying to live
child's
through
a
me and
fucking
vicariously.
Oh my god.
and just be supportive.
Rick!
So ashamed.
You know, she's the queen of the household.
We
What
just need
what
to-
she wants, she gets.
We just need to have another one. This one's just not cutting
I
it.
love you, Dad. Right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, good job, honey.
I love you, Mom.
This is a great bit.
Speaking of great bits, Kakashi T48, and this has nothing to do with great bits, says his or her guilty pleasure is cutting a hole in a cutout of Raina Scully's mouth in a photo and feeding her.
And let me just point out, this person
Feeding her
on
a
Twitter
what?
has Raina as their profile.
Let's look at
picture.
some of their other tweets.
Oh wow.
Making my profile pic Raina.
Well, there you go.
Hashtag cheating, hashtag on, hashtag her.
Getting a roll of toilet paper, stuffing a piece of bologna in it, writing Raina on the side of it, and having sex with it.
So they also have a picture of me with the caption, when they forgot to pull out.
Wow.
This is an interesting Twitter, I gotta say.
You gotta follow that one for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah. Tweeting insane shit. Not gonna lie. Oh, here we go. Someone said, not gonna lie, the same as you, Subtic. It's watching spot popping / removal videos on YouTube. Gross but mesmerizing. See, right? It's a pleasure had by many.
Is it a guilty pleasure?
Yes,
though?
of course it is, because it's like I recognize that it's gross. Okay, I recognize that, but I don't give a shit.
I like to look at r/awe at cute animal pictures before bed and just be like, hee hee.
I wish that was exactly what you did every night before you went to bed.
Maybe it is.
I just
I think Reddit isn't in and of itself a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeremy,
everything
what's
on
your
there.
favorite dank Reddit meme when you're browsing lay Reddit?
My favorite dank
What's
Reddit
your
meme.
favorite rage face, Jeremy?
Oh boy.
What's your favorite comic to read
I
over
love
and
them
over
all
and
so
over?
much.
You ever listen to Nicki Minaj's music? by any chance? By Josine says that that's her guilty pleasure. Now, truth be told, I think Nicki Minaj is talented.
Do you?
And I don't care what you think. She's a star. And she deserves better.
Better than
Meek. She deserves better. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
So out of touch.
She should be with Drake. I'm so tired of her being with Meek. Have you heard his bars? Half of the time, it's not even him, is what you said before, right?
Who, Meek?
Yeah. We were listening to it
No,
as Rick
I
Ross.
played you a song and it was all Rick Ross. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, Nikki, if you're out there, hit me up. I'll leave my, if you want to just follow me on Twitter, my Twitter is...
Why don't you put your email address or your phone number in the video again? Like last time?
Okay, so what's weird about that, yeah, if you don't know about that, there was a video that was released where we were streaming and I bought something on Steam and it managed to show my address and my phone number. And I got a bunch of weird voicemails. One of them was just breathing. Another one was like, I love you. And then there was panting. There was a lot of panting and breathing.
That's a little weird. I'm super paranoid now whenever I stream because I read some story about like some streamer that like forgot to end his stream.
Oh yeah,
and like
that one.
He like goes on a porn site and starts jerking off, and you can like see what he's jerking off to as well because he still had like.
Oh my God, what was he jerking it to?
It wasn't actually that bad. It was like girls in showers. Pretty much. So it's not like he like pulled up something like super bad, but still I'm like so like every time I stream, I always like make sure to like end process tree and
when you stream, you have certain followers that are always there, and I just can't imagine those people sitting there watching me cranking down.
How could you not though? Like if you're willing to watch some dude play Call of Duty for 3.5 hours, like, and then all of a sudden he starts like opening like showersluts.com and then like you see him beating off, like how can you not be morbidly fascinated enough to be like,
I just picture that same kid from the panel seeing his idol jerking it to girls in the shower, and that just...
I mean, at least the guy that it happened to before was having sex with his girlfriend, so it was a little less embarrassing.
But there was a dude that had sex with his girlfriend on stream?
Yeah, he forgot to turn the stream on, and it's like, and it's just on for like an hour.
Wasn't
and
there a guy
there was nothing happening, and then he comes in with his girlfriend, and they start having sex, but it's still streaming, and he had no idea. No one told him.
There was a dude who pretended to be handicapped for the longest time.
What?
And then on stream, he stood up, and they're like, oh, it's a miracle. found out or some shit. It was like that. It was
Did he try to play it off like that, or did
I don't
like
know.
the
I don't
fire
remember.
alarm start going off, and he was like, "Oh shit!" and gave
Whoa.
himself away?
Why was he pretending to be handicapped for like?
I think
sympathy
donations and shit. Potentially.
That's so.
Wait,
funny.
Maddie, do you know a lot about that? Yeah. What happened with that? That's a whole weird. Was it exactly how I explained it? Just a dude that just wanted. What does he do now? Where are they now?
Did he like go by something called like Steel Wheels 83 or like some kind of like super pandery like
Dude,
I am in a wheelchair
We just
name?
did a story on SourceFed about this Miss Pennsylvania who pretended that she had cancer to get sympathy
that's
donations. And she like even shaved her head and like wore like a mask and all kinds of stuff. Turns out she never even went to see a doctor.
Wow, how did
Doesn't
they
have
find that
cancer at
out?
all.
How do medical records actually
One of her friends knocked her out, probably.
knocked her up?
Narked her out.
Oh, narcs. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why would she tell anyone that? That's ridiculous.
know.
I want a whole segment about where are they now with streamers that have just fucked up. Like this other girl, she showed her butthole and her boobs for RuneScape points.
What?
Her butthole?
Yeah, her whole butthole.
On stream
For
like,
RuneScape points.
I think that's what it was
People
for.
still play RuneScape?
Yeah, it was something like that. And it was like, she went full on with that. And I wish I was there to, and then I followed her on Twitter and everything. I DM'd her and shit. And it's just a whole other story for another time. Like, it's whatever though. I think those are all my guilty pleasures though. Or all these people's guilty pleasures. Guilty's pleasures.
Guilty's pleasures.
looking at RuneScape buttholes.
Yeah. Would you guys ever, okay, if someone offered you $25,000 to show your butthole on a Twitch stream to get your channel banned, would you do it?
$25,000.
$25,000 right now, cash up front. You see the cash right in front of you. Doesn't need to be taxed or anything. Show your butthole, spread your cheeks like on stream.
Are there any other requirements to this?
No, you show your butthole for 25 seconds.
So I can paint like a clown face
It's
on
like
it or
$1,000
something. Right?
No,
per
you can't
second?
paint a clown.
So
face
you
on it.
can't do anything funny with it.
No,
like you
it's
can't
just
make it into a joke. You just have to
No,
be
you
like,
just
here's
show
my
your butthole.
asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
$25,000.
I wouldn't do it.
Are you allowed to fart on the camera?
No.
Oh.
That really ruins it for me.
Are you allowed to shit?
Yes. Yes. But you get 15,000 then.
They take off for that? They don't
I feel like
pay
you should
extra?
get more.
No, this guy just wants your straight up butthole. This guy is like really specific about what he wants, and it's $25,000 to show your butthole on
I mean,
stream.
probably not, because that's enough that you could like earn it. Like,
Let us know in the comments if you would show your butthole on stream for $25,000. No, I wouldn't.
yeah, that's not like if it was like 100,000, like no question. But 25 is.
I don't know if I'd even do it for that.
I feel like spreading your I would do it for 100,000.
You'd never be able to get a job because they'd always be like, "You're the guy that showed your asshole on
You're
the
that
screen."
butthole dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Butthole
it's
guy.
the internet. Like, it's a matter of publicity, right? So, like, a lot of people, like, you're gonna get a spike in views.
Exactly. Like, who was the guy that did Chatterbait? Was that I Fly Illini?
I don't remember his name, but it
What's
sounds
Chatterbait?
sounds
Chatterbait's
familiar.
where you just go on and you jerk yourself off for a bunch of people. It's like a webcam show on the internet.
Wasn't he like in the military, and then like his like military like commanding officer was like, you got to close your YouTube channel down,
I don't know.
and they like kicked him out anyway. Like, it was kind of bullshit.
I don't know. I know in that situation,
Why does
I
the
would own up to
military
it. Probably.
hate entrepreneurial shit?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not even doing something like I mean, Chatterbait is a service. Like, you know, it's not like he did it like in public or did it like on his stream or
If
something.
times
Like,
were tough, Lyle, would you move over to Chatterbait if the
I
demand
mean,
was there?
if the demand was there, sure, why not?
Would you show your face?
I mean,
I heard you
no.
get more money if you show your face.
Depends how much, honestly.
You get twice as much.
Do you secretly work for Chatterbait and you're just trying to sign him up as an affiliate right now?
I have a partnership program.
Is
You
that a
get
contract
75%. No, it's not. You have a 75%
They
ad revenue, which is
Run
like weird
a
because
pyramid scheme thing where they try to get other Chatterbait members to like sign up other Chatterbait members, and then
If you like
everybody's
watching me stroke it, check out my friend Lyle.
it's just soon Chatterbait's
I'm
going to be as
hosting him on
common
my
as
channel.
Facebook. You could just see anybody masturbate at any given time.
if you subscribe, you get 5 emotes, all of my penis in the same picture.
That's the way that oversharing is going, isn't it? Like, soon we're actually going to be using those buttons at the bottom of Pornhub, like share on Facebook.
Yeah, why do they? Does anyone ever share? Wait, why? They
Have
don't
you ever accidentally clicked on one?
on the? Did
No.
you?
I have accidentally clicked on one before and be like,
it
oh
actually-
shit, and like, have to like,
Have
am
you
I
ever-
logged into something? What the fuck?
I'm for some reason I'm all like, even though I live alone and nobody else uses my computer, I always go on incognito mode, just like out of like, you know, habit. So
Well, you should if you're gonna be stroking it to like police crime scenes and,
And
shit.
camel.
well, I mean, they don't know
beheadings.
that I'm jerking it off to that. They could just think I'm really interested
You don't know.
in the
Your
news,
webcam
but
might be recording you.
The absolute most embarrassing thing I think in that situation for me, like the tweeting out a porn or something like that, is scrolling through like a girl's Instagram or whatever, and you're pretty like far into it, and you accidentally like a picture from way back when.
I do hate that.
Ugh.
I not with Instagram, but like sometimes
Yeah,
with
because
like
they're gonna get a notification and be like, "Wow, they went pretty deep in there."
sometimes I do that with Twitter. Like
And it's like a 2 at night. What the hell?
I don't open Twitter on my phone for like 3 days or something, and then like I'm like scrolling up and I'll just like some random thing, and it's never something good either. It's always like man, I have to shit so bad right now. And, like, you just like it from like 5 days ago.
I would laugh so hard if you liked one of my fucking things and said, I have to shit so bad from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like what it like, oh man, this person must have thought like I was like scrolling through their shit.
And why that one? Why favorite that one of all the things? I don't understand. There's also, what's that other embarrassing thing that, oh yeah, there are a lot of people that don't realize on Instagram that you can see what you like.
Oh my god.
You can see what other people like, and
I have some friends that don't notice that, and it will just be like them liking a whole bunch of like slutty pictures, and it's just right there on their Facebook for everybody to see.
I love it. I love people
You
that
have
don't
no
realize
idea.
that. And this has been the podcast of guilty pleasures. It's been a revealing time for all, and I wish I wouldn't have told that story towards the beginning. That's gonna haunt me forever. Hopefully, it doesn't show up on any subreddits or anything. Hopefully, it doesn't.
So please add that to the subreddit straight away, along with fan art to accompany it,
And thank you to
and we'll
Domain.
share it from SPF's Twitter.
And thank you to Domain for sponsoring my filth. It's been a real time for
You
sure.
get a website, fleshlightonafan.com. filled with fan art of Steven Suptic.